And to this image, we're not the first person to publicly snark this image. It was Stevie first saw this, and others like it, actually, on the Colbert Report, I believe.
Yes.
And we decided that we wanted our crack at it. As you can see here, the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, surrounded by many of his fans and well-wishers,
And just a few naysayers.
is presenting what I assume is America. I'm not sure that either of those buildings are located where they are.
I have been to Washington, D.C., and they are not, that is not how it looks.
Yeah, he's presenting us with the Constitution. Which, as you may
here
know,
it is, the Constitution.
Has a few rights in it that we do and don't adhere to here and there. And
We don't like some of them.
right. And as you can see, the Americans of all ages, some of them with cell phones, others still wearing white wigs. I especially like Lincoln there, and Washington's hands on Lincoln's shoulder, kind of passionately. Anyway, this image, you could see all those people there. We need to let's break this down.
Okay,
Right.
I need to tell you something. While you were talking about the Constitution, I have to tell you, when you go to this guy's site and look at the image, you can mouse over and it tells you who everyone is and what everything is in his lovely, lovely piece here.
Oh my God! Really? Send me a link.
Dude, why didn't you do any preparation?
I told you to do it.
And I'm looking at it right now, and then I pointed it out, and you're like, oh shit, really? That thing I told you to do, you can do it?
Well, let me do it.
Well, who'd have thunk it? You know?
Okay,
thunk
but
it.
the thing is, I moused over the U.S. Constitution, and it says something, it has a very simple description, according to this man. Inspired of God and created by God-fearing patriotic Americans.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
It has
sure.
nothing to do with rights, the basis of the country. No, the important thing to take away from the Constitution is God.
Yep. God and Jesus.
Never mind that whole freedom of religion thing we have here, or supposedly have. I mean, like, unless you're a Muslim.
Who is that kid? And why does he get to stand so much closer to Jesus than everyone else?
According to the site, he's rising generation. Who are the rising generation that this little boy represents? He symbolizes the young children, both male and female, of all color and ethnicity, which are being taught the true principles of a republic by parents who believe in the Constitution.
I bet he's actually just a short person with a degree in law going, yep, I found the loophole in your quote-unquote Constitution, Jesus.
Yeah, does he look like, look at how short that kid is. Does he look like he's really reading age, especially Constitution reading age?
No.
Yeah, really. And I could read 1700s English.
Exactly, like, oh, it's all good.
Or 1700s cursive, or... Okay, now, as we put... now, and you've got... Over here, we've got World War II, Korean, and Vietnam War soldiers, who I'm pretty sure did not all have the same outfit.
Wait, I have to say one more thing about that kid. You know, he points out, you know, regardless of their color, you know, we want the younger generation to, you know, take up the cause of the Jesus Constitution. But you'll notice in this image that, as far as the influential people here behind Jesus, all of the influential black leaders, such as Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman, are all the way in the back, where black people belong, as we all know. Except for the black American soldier here, who would be the only one who has a gun.
I pushed my way to the front of the queue with my gun.
That's right. I mean, like, that guy looks like he could get you. Like, you're not going to push him to the back of the line.
The rest of them just like, God dang it, I forgot to bring my gun again.
So, and even Harriet Tubman doesn't look that pleased.
She really does not. Like, oh. Frederick Douglass doesn't necessarily look pleased. In fact, a lot of people here who are supposed to be, like, pro Jesus are not happy looking.
I love the guy on the bottom right in the black suit. He looks so upset. He's like, "Oh no, Jesus, you made me drop all my papers."
So that soldier next to that kid, it's like he was focused on the Constitution, like, and Jesus, like, "Oh yes, Jesus, Constitution, it's everything I've been taught to kill for." And he's like, "Oh hey, Timmy."
Right? His eyes are totally on that child.
Looks like your parents bought you some tight little jeans there.
Oh, God.
I love the pose Abe Lincoln has got going. It's either like a "yo, what's up" pose, or "come on, guys, Abe just wants a hug." Do you want to give Abe a hug? I bet Jesus wants one.
By the way,
To me, it looks like Washington and Lincoln have just finished like some sort of dance number, and that's like the end pose.
Yeah.
John Adams over there is gesturing to them like, "Yeah, wasn't that great? Like they were on like 1700s American Idol." I guess it would have been British colonies Idol.
why would they dance at American Idol?
I don't know.
America's Got Talent, then.
America's Got Talent. There we go.
Okay, now I like most of the people in the bottom right-hand corner are the people that they do not so much they don't like Jesus as much as perhaps people should. Now,
are you going to focus on one in particular? I mean, because we need to talk about the professor.
okay, I'll do the professor first.
Thank
So,
you.
all right. So if you see next to this man who's crossing his arms, next to him,
Whose name is Hollywood. We should point that out.
right? Whose name is Mr. Hollywood. Okay. You see a man over here on the bottom, kind of in the bottom right-hand corner, with a book. If you squint closely, the book in his hands reads "The Origin of Species" by Charles Darwin.
Oh, fucking believe it.
It's always funny.
Really, Jesus should be like, "Yo, dude, that's a pretty cool book you got there. You should probably read it to all these people sometime."
That was awesome how my father put all that into motion because he's God. He could do that. You people are idiots for thinking he can't. Oh, was I thinking out loud again? Okay, his name is Professor. By the way, Professor.
Just Professor.
Implying that he and all other professors are bad, bad men.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go ahead and...
Including those ones who are trying to cure cancer and AIDS.
Stephanie, would you like to read the professor's bio there?
Okay. He tightly holds his Origin of Species book by Charles Darwin. This represents a liberal left's control of our educational system. His smug expression describes the attitude of many of the educational elite. There is no room for God in education. There is contempt for any other viewpoints. Humanism dominates the educational system of America, and I believe that this is wrong. Notice that he is the only one sitting on the top step. He tries to place himself on an equal footing with God, but he is still nothing next to the intelligence of the Creator.
I love that, by the way. Not only did he say that education formed, he basically just thinks we should do away with it altogether.
Basically, all of what that says is what you hear from a lot of religious people is people who know things don't believe in my religion, thus I choose to know nothing and continue to think that I'm right.
It's also BS because aren't they trying to push creationism in education mostly?
Yeah, that is what they're complaining about.
By
like,
the way, I want to point out that a lot of the people that most people probably wouldn't necessarily tout too highly, although they are here. It's their bio is purely informational, you know. So
yeah.
It just tells you who they are, not if they're great, you know.
Except, actually, all the people in the front, both on the right and left sides, are labeled that way. They all have little like bios.
But I mean, like everybody gets like a little bio.
Well, no, I mean like they actually say something about, you know, not just like. You know, for example, John Adams, second president of the United States, one of the most influential of the founding fathers. Like, he has a normal bio.
No. I know what you're saying. Okay. For example, all right.
Except for Farmer, who's just truly the backbone of America.
Harriet Tubman, she was an abolitionist and a Union spy during the Civil War. She made over 13 missions to rescue over 70 slaves in the Underground Railroad. That is not saying that was good. That is just saying what she did. All right? Now, come on over to Ronald Reagan here. 40th President of the United States. He believed in the greatest of America and peace through strength. He was a true patriot of freedom. All right? He's a true patriot of freedom, while Harriet Tubman is a true nothing of anything.
Let's stop for a minute on Reagan, by the way, and look at his stern expression. Reagan is not looking at Jesus. He's looking forward, like, wondering, like, if he remembered to eat breakfast this morning. I thought about it. Like, but he's not... It's not a huge concern, but he is certainly not thinking about what's going on over there.
I think I left the stove on.
You're right.
I'm pretty sure, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, I probably am sure, but I'm pretty sure there's a vampire in this picture. Like, on the far left, about the guy in the denim jacket and the red shirt, that Mr. Hollywood guy. I'm pretty sure it's a vampire.
Mr. Hollywood's like, a vampire, or next to him?
Above him.
Well, that's
above him. Oh, really? Because I would sit here like, okay, shouldn't the vampire be Jesus' priority, really? Really? I mean...
Why is Satan sitting in on this anyway?
Yeah, I mean, really, if you were Jesus, I'd be like, I've gathered you all here. First call of business, though. It should take care of some house cleaning. Any vampires here? Because you're going to be in trouble if you're a vampire and you came. I mean, thanks for taking the time to come along, but I'm going to have to deal with you. Like, smite you. Wrath of God stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't make the rules. That's just, you know, orders from the big man.
Just how it goes. I'd like to point out, no, Satan is totally there to let you know that these people are liberals and therefore bad.
Okay, now let me read Satan's bio here. Satan, everything in this painting is symbolic.
What, including Jesus and Satan?
Especially Jesus and Satan. All right. Okay, everything in this painting is symbolic. This figure, which represents Satan, was painted to be as creepy and as dark as possible, still easily recognizable. I believe in the reality and the adversary, and that he interferes in the affairs of men. This thing is scrolling too fast for me when I misread things. And he interferes in the affairs of men. He is subtle and crafty, and many are lured to think that good is evil and evil is good. It is interesting to me how many people love to point out the Satan figure in the painting. I would encourage you to consider each symbol and how it relates to the rest of the painting.
But the reason people point it out is because it just doesn't fit.
It's
like, it's so blatantly there. It's like, holy shit, look, a vampire! What's that doing there?
Frankly, to me, he looks like the Dark Wanderer form of Diablo from Diablo 2. Going back to that. That's what I see.
It comes full circle, back to Diablo 2.
He's gonna be Diablo. We're gonna have to kill him later.
Like, dude, get your rat ass in there, man.
Take care of that shit. I think another important thing is, I moused over Jesus himself at one point, and I don't read this whole thing.
Oh,
he wears a golden robe to symbolize his position as the God of all creation.
What?
I think you have your Christianity confused. I've read the Bible. Jesus is not God. They're not the same guy.
Wait a minute, unless I have this wrong, isn't God God?
Yes, I think he is.
God
I think Jesus is the Son of God.
Son of God.
Yes.
And the Savior of mankind, not the Creator. So is it not hilarious, by the way, that this guy has it wrong? Like, we know that. The three of us know that while we're mocking this guy and his ridiculous religious views. Like, but you have it wrong.
Why do people, like, always depict Jesus? He, like, looks like the lead singer of Nickelback or something.
Oh, God.
I know, and biblical descriptions of Jesus say he has hair like a lamb's wool, and they're from the Middle East.
I'm just gonna break out my guitar now and sing you all a song. I never made it as a wise man. Couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing.
And that is what they think of as being Jesus,
Hung me
yes.
on a wooden cross. Even with Jesus, Nickelback sucks.
The guy in the bottom right with the wad of money. Had to be some kind of thief.
That is
like,
lawyer.
all that money has to come from all the people there.
No, not all lawyers are like this, but there is certainly an element to the system which has made room for corruption. We could all stand for Wall Street or bank. We could. He could also stand for Wall Street or the banking system. He is lovingly counting his $100 bills. Well, I would.
He's probably thinking to himself, I made so much money on this fake appearance of Jesus. These people are so dumb.
I'm convinced that he's stolen it from everyone there, including Jesus. Jesus goes back up to heaven, and he like looks in his wallet. It's like, wait, I had at least 50 in here when I left for the mortal world. Oh man, Dad's gonna be pissed.
And like 2 mints. Where the hell are my mints? And then the lawyers out there, the best part is like, oh, Jesus' mints.